Hi, I'm Neil O'Grady. I'm an osteopath, and today I want to show you how to test myotomes in the lower limb. So if there's an issue with any of the nerve roots in the lower spine or lower part of the spine, you're going to see if they are affecting any of the myotomes or muscles that they feed in the lower limb. So we start off with L2 and we work our way down all the way to S2. So we flex the knee up to here, flex the hip up to 90 degrees, and I'm going to ask him to pull his knee towards his shoulder or towards his head. So that's hip flexion. That would be L2, your iliopsoas. That's okay. There's plenty of power there. We know there's no deficit there. If I want to go down to L3, I can extend his knee a little bit, put my knee under his, so there's maybe a 30-degree bend here in the knee, and I'm going to ask him to push up into my hand so he's as if he's straightening his leg. So no power deficit there. If there was a power deficit there, we'd know that there was maybe an issue with his L3. And obviously with all of these tests, you're going to test both the unaffected limb and the affected limb and see if there is a difference. You've got something to compare with. So I'll straighten out the leg. I come to the end of the couch. I come down here onto the inward or medial side of the foot, and I'm going to bring his ankle into eversion like that, and I'm going to ask him to invert his ankle, but the language I will use is push your foot into my hand like that, inwards, and I can see there's plenty of power there. If there's a power deficit there, then we'll suspect something with L4. And also we can do a little bit of dorsiflexion, so pull your foot up to your head like that. That'll also test L4, and a little bit of L5 as well. So we'll do that specifically L4 inversion. To hone in and be specific with L5, we'll go into the hallux or the great toe, and I'll ask him to pull his toe in a cephalad direction up toward the top of the couch. Power deficit here would be an issue affecting the L5 nerve root, perhaps a bulging disc, L4, L5, affecting the descending nerve root of L5, or L5S1, affecting the L5 nerve root perhaps. And I'll come onto the outside of the foot here then, the lateral aspect of the foot. I'll draw the foot into inversion like this, and I'll ask him to evert the foot or push the foot out into my hand. Plenty of power there, that's the S1 nerve root. Also he can do some plantar flexion, so like you're pushing on the pedal at the accelerator in the car, that would be also S1. Okay, now I'll get you to turn over face down. I'm going to show you another one for S1 now, which is one that you don't normally see, but with this one it's going to be hip extension, so he's going to push his heel up to the ceiling like that. So I place my hand here and ask him to push his heel upwards like that. So we can do that, so we know he has power there, so we don't suspect there's an issue with S1. And if we want to go all the way down as far as S2, we can just cup the calcaneal bone here like that, and place your hand on the paravertebral muscles in the low spine. Ask him to pull his heel towards his buttock into knee flexion, so he's activating his hamstring, so he's looking at S2. Okay, so that is all the myotomes. Then we'll do two extra little tests just to check. So I just ask you to stand up there, please. So you can face this way. So just looking down at the feet, we're going to check S1 by asking him to go up on your toes and walk forwards on your toes, okay? And now if he couldn't do that, it would indicate that there's an issue with the S1 nerve, and usually it will be one side. And if there is an issue with one side, you can further down. Just let's say it's the right side he had an issue with, he couldn't come up. I just hold him there and come up and do a calf raise on your right foot only. Okay, and if there was an issue, he would be unable to do that. If we want to check L4, and there's an input to L5 as well, but we'll get him to walk on his heels. So walk on your heels and walk forward. Okay, and that's okay. And what you'll have with someone with an issue that's really affected the L4, L5 nerve root is they can get drop foot, where they cannot dorsiflex the foot, which is an issue. The foot becomes floppy and they'll trip over things, door saddles and stuff like that, and that can be a serious issue. So that, everybody, is the myotomes for the low limb. If you liked the video, subscribe to my channel. Talk to you next time. Thank you.